boundaries, something I've learned is boundaries. It's not necessarily something you impose on clients. It's something that you set for yourself. It's your boundary. And, I think that looks different with different clients.
Yeah.
And as well, I don't think it's a one size fits all for everyone.
So we're back. We're on episode 3 of the Massage and Physical Therapist talk show, and a slightly different format today. We've got a special guest joining us, and it's just me and thee having a chat. So we've got Hayley Snishko. Welcome, Hayley, to the round table that's not so round today, with just 2 of us on it. How are you doing?
Thank you. Yeah, good. Thank you so much for having me on. I've been looking forward to this.
Well, when they said that, I'm going to be chatting with Hayley for this one, I was like, checking out your website and stuff. And I was thinking, brilliant. This is, it feels fresh. It's nice just to be able to invite different people on with different experiences in our field, in different sort of, with different expertises. So I was meant to actually announce you as the award-winning holistic therapist. So I wanted to just touch on that first and foremost, obviously, just to get to know you a little bit. So anyone listening, because I feel anyone that works in this field wants to be an award-winning therapist, whatever that award might be, because it just validates, doesn't it? I feel like the hard work that's put into what we do. So what is that? What was the award? What was it for?
So this year I won the award. It's for holistic therapist in the Babtak Awards. So I went in for 2. I went in for holistic therapist, and I did digital marketing, which is not my background, so I didn't expect to get very far. But I got to the finals for the digital marketing. Wow. And then I won holistic therapist. So it was fantastic.
Oh, that's amazing. So was there like a nice do? Was it like, because I've been at a few like not for massage therapy or physical therapy sort of or holistic therapy in general, but like for business, small business awards and things. I've been to a few of them. I've never actually won the main prize, but it was just nice being there, nice sat at the table. Yeah. They always had like a bit of a dinner put on. Was it that kind of vibe?
It was at the Fairmont in Windsor.
Oh,
and
lovely.
So I love, and I love these events because they've, lots of people are there. So you get to see everyone, and it's so nice to kind of talk with people in the industry.
It's like a networking event as well, isn't it, really? So just being shortlisted for these sort of awards is great. But I do think, if you win one or even just shortlisted, just being able to say that and put it on your email footer or whatever, it kind of, I don't know, it's not needed. So I don't want anyone listening to this to be thinking, right, well, if I don't win an award, that's it, I need to pack in, but it's sort of, it can help add a bit of weight to what you do as a therapist. I think, if someone was looking at your website thinking, who should I book in with? Well, this Hayley's won an award, so I'll go with her. Do you know what I mean? So it definitely helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It just gives that bit of credibility. And I think it's the process of going through the awards as well it's the reason I do it, because it can be quite daunting, putting yourself out there to be critiqued. It's not necessarily an easy thing to do, but going through the process, I've learned more going through the process, of doing these awards about myself and my business than anything else, really. It's a good thing to do, I think, as a therapist, to see where you are and where you want to be and how you can get there.
Yeah. And do you think, would you put yourself in for more then going forward? Is that something is it less daunting now that you've done it once and
No. No.
Or is that it now? It's a bit like if you win the heavyweight sort of belt and then retire, as if to say, right, I've got it now. I don't need to keep it. I've got it. I've achieved that. I can just crack on now and just enjoy working, and doing what you love.
Yeah. Well, I do it every year. I've actually just been shortlisted as finalist in the Professional Beauty Awards.
Oh, I see. So it's started.
Mobile therapist, and what's the other one? Therapist of the year. So I try and do it every year if I can. But Brilliant. It's hard work, so it depends how much time I've got.
Yeah, well, it was in the last chat we were having, actually, we were talking about admin time and stuff, and it's so hard as a self-employed or small business owner, when you kind of pretty much run everything yourself, and then you've got to actually work the job as well. It's not like we can just sit in an office keeping up with emails every day, because we're actually hands-on therapists, which is what we all want to be. You know, that's why we do it. Well, at least until we get to a point where maybe we can't do that anymore. You know, if we're retired, or if we're getting a bit achy, you know. So yeah, but that's a whole other conversation that we have had previously about, you know, hiring in people to maybe help with things like admin and social media. One thing I did notice with you is I really like your social content on your Instagram, you know, your work Instagram pages and stuff. It you know, it's everything I wish mine was like that, but I just quite simply can't be bothered doing, you know. I just struggle to keep up with it. I just struggle to keep up with it. Although a top tip for therapists listening right now, I've only just discovered the schedule post function on Instagram, which has saved my life, because when I do have an hour to sit and actually catch up with some posts, I can do about 5 at once and schedule them throughout the week. And then I don't have to think about it until another week's time. So
I actually didn't know that. That's a good tip. Thank you.
Here we go. So yeah, Chris's top tip. Go into your settings on your Instagram and schedule posts. Annoyingly, it doesn't schedule the ones that link to your Facebook as well, but I can live with that. You know, I quite like just them linking, and I just do one. But yeah, it makes me feel really old that I'm sounding like I'm not very tech savvy. But I just struggle sometimes with. It's just the motivation to sit there on my phone and try and keep up with it, which I know I need to, and I know that this is what I mean when I go on your page. It looks absolutely fantastic, you know, and it's great. So yeah,
thank you. Thank you. That's very kind.
So the time you've put in is well worth it, because I've noticed it. I'm sure many others have as well.
Well, thank you. That acknowledgement is it means a lot. Thank you.
Oh, good. Well, so. Just before we move on, a little bit more about yourself. So you say, do you do your mobile massage therapist, or do you have a place that you work from?
Okay. I'm mobile. I'm exclusively mobile. Yeah.
And where are you based?
Elmbridge in Surrey. So I live in Surrey. I live in Surrey, but I work mainly in Elmbridge. It's about half an hour from me.
Brilliant. And how do you find the mobile sort of life, if you like?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it 12 years, so it definitely keeps me there. It certainly has its challenges, but I think, you know, a lot of that comes down to understanding what the challenges are and finding ways to adapt and overcome to them. But I love mobile therapy because it gives me something that being in a location doesn't, and that's what you can give to your clients. The relationship you can build with your clients as well. You know, I think there's a difference between treating someone in their home. It's a very personal thing. You know, I've got clients I've been treating for the 12 years I've been mobile, and it's just special. You know, it keeps me in. So
especially for maybe clients that can't physically get to you, you know, I don't explicitly just do mobile, but I have some that I do mobile because they can't get to me.
Okay.
I work from a canal boat, so it's kind of, you've got to be able to get to it and get on it. You know, it's not unfortunately, it's not very accessible for the less mobile sort of clients. But so I will always then go to them. But yeah, I think what I've always got from doing mobile sessions is that it's everywhere's every visit's different, isn't it? So you don't get into that sort of same room, same place every day in, day out kind of feel, because each day you're driving somewhere different, you go into different houses, and it's that personal touch where the client feels comfortable welcoming you into their home as well. So
exactly, yeah.
On episode 2 that we recently recorded, we were talking about obviously how to make your massage therapy treatments like a unique experience, and we were saying about obviously with the one thing that you can't kind of control as much with mobile is it's not your room, is it? So you can only do so much to make that space unique in a way.
Exactly.
You don't know what you're gonna you know, there could be, you don't know what to expect when you turn up. You know, it's a house at the end of the day. People live there, so there's probably going to be piles of ironing that need doing on the side. There's, you know, there might be the phone ringing. Someone might knock at the door. So you kind of have to just roll with it, don't you? And
oh yeah, I'm friendly with all the postmen in the area I work. Yeah. The number of parcels I've signed for, and also as well, it's the pets, the dogs, the cats.
Yeah,
the animals you have to work with as well.
I love that, having their dog just sat. I used to have one that just jumped on my lap all the time, and in the end, because I was doing reflexology for this specific client, and in the end, I just said, the client just said, listen, if you're happy, then he'll just sit on your lap. And I was just like, yeah, as long as you just all literally had a dog on my lap whilst working the client's feet. And to be
Oh,
honest,
that is adaptability.
it was great. It was probably the best day of my life. I absolutely loved it. So I wanted to ask you about this Massage for Mental Health campaign that you are well, it's the brainchild of, I suppose. It's your thing, isn't it? So what can you tell me about it?
Yeah, the campaign. It's so I've been running the campaign since July 2022. Yes, so just over a year, nearly a year and a half. And it's something that's born from my own experience. It's a very personal thing. Essentially, the campaign is to have massage therapy and complementary therapies recognized as a credible treatment for mental health, not in place of what's currently available, but to complement, so alongside the current treatment. I just feel like the physical aspects of mental health conditions aren't addressed, but actually there's such a big component of the struggles of mental health. And I think if we can address the physical side of things, then I think it can help the emotional impact of the mental health conditions.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
so that's kind of essentially what the campaign is. And there's lots of different things that then takes on, but that's the key goal.
Okay, that's brilliant. So when did you say you founded this? Sorry.
So the campaign I started in July 2022, but it's something that it's been very much in the making for a long time. As I say, it's a very personal thing. So my story, so obviously I struggle with mental health conditions. My story starts back in my childhood. I'm a survivor of childhood trauma. I won't touch upon that too much, but
Hmm.
essentially that triggered when I gave birth. That act of giving birth triggered all of that trauma, that years worth of suppressed trauma to come out. And I mean, it was, I'm laughing because it's just how I talk about this, but it was so hard. And I mean, I had, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, anxiety, and it was pretty severe. Uh, and a big element of that was the physicalities of the condition. And I think my trauma was a physical act, and I think that physically manifested in me. And I struggled for a few years, and I couldn't get out of it. And I was on antidepressants, but I I couldn't. I just felt really trapped. And it's it's so hard when you're living with a mental health condition to get through it when you're so stuck in that place. And it was actually a couple of years after I gave birth, I went on a spa day. So I had my first massage after giving birth. It took me a couple of years. I got there in the end. And it was just completely profound what the massage did. Now, of course, I'm not saying I had one massage and I was cured. That's not, we know that's not what happens. But my body felt alive, and it felt like I could move, and it felt like I could breathe as well. And so, I had some more, and it just helped me so much. And I was having, talking therapies and on antidepressants alongside. And it just facilitated me overcoming that period of my life so easily, so much quicker. And kind of from that point onwards, it really woke me up to just how powerful massage and touch therapies are, and the difference that can make in a client's life.
That's amazing. And the fact that you've been through all that yourself, and had first-hand experience in how it can help. So what was the first steps with getting this set up then? So obviously, you've gone through all this yourself, and you've then experienced how much it can help you. It's helped you. But where do you take it from there? Like,
Mm.
how does it become a thing? How do we, because it's such a big
It's,
subject, and there's
yeah.
been, the whole taking our industry serious, even during the COVID period, and how we were labelled as
Mm,
massage parlours, and it was it really hit a
mm,
nerve because it was like, we are so much more than, it's what we do is so important. And I think from the COVID thing, if anything, it's shown how important our line of work actually is. Because, you can imagine people being locked in the house with nothing to do for such a long period of time, how that messed with everyone's mental health. And we're still seeing the effects of that now, in children especially. I'm a big advocate for mindfulness and mental health, and I teach mindfulness in schools, and I've seen firsthand the difference in children since them not being in school and being able, and we're still seeing the effects of that now. And I know with doctors and things, we always say this is never a substitute. We're not trying to say to them, listen, prescribe this instead. But what we're trying to say is this alongside what you are already doing will speed up it will help get people, it's only going to help. And I think it's a big step forward seeing things like acupuncture being sort of prescribed on the NHS and as a method, of I think that's a big step forward. But where do we go then with this, the massage for mental health? Is it taking steps forward? Is it being recognised by certain, doctors and
Well, I'm not the only one in the industry fighting for this. The British Beauty Council actually did a big report on the impact of massage on mental health. And I know from that there was a recommendation from 2 MPs to have massage on as a social prescribing structure. So I know there's definitely talk about it happening, which is amazing. And in terms of the campaign, there's been so much more of a conversation and an awareness. So I think the awareness was for me the first step. A lot of people have said to me, oh, actually, I didn't even think about it, but now I've had my massage, I feel it, I understand. And so the first part of the campaign is definitely an awareness for therapists and for clients. And now I'm kind of in the second phase, which is now education. So I'm just about to release a course. So I've worked with a psychotherapist, and we've done a course for obviously massage, mental health, and how we are as therapists. So the therapeutic relationship is a massive component of that course as well. So that's kind of the next phase, which will go into the education. And I aim to keep pushing the awareness, and then just trying to find a structure as to how it would work in terms of having it available for people on the NHS.
I think a lot of it as well is down to how we see massage therapy and how we sort of perceive it, because I think we need to get rid of that sort of view of it as being a beauty treatment, something that's not required, but something that's done as a luxury. And as soon as people, because you can guarantee you'll get some people going, how on earth can you be prescribed a massage on the NHS, for instance? Everyone would just be saying, I fancy a massage, I'm going to go and get one off, a free one off the NHS. Do you know what I mean? But what people need to see is that it's not just a massage, is it? It's everything that comes with that, and it's changing that perception of what a massage actually is. That's what I feel. To show how important it actually is. And touching on that with mental health, I have quite a few clients that see me that are males, which is an influx more now than it ever used to get. Because traditionally, a lot of blokes would just be in the sense of sort of, oh, I don't need that, I'll just crack on. And then is there a reason why that the male suicide rate is so high? There's definitely ties. There's ties there, so I think people need to see the bigger picture, and by having things like this in place, it would bring down so many sort of people probably wouldn't need to visit the doctors as much. It would kind of pay for itself in the long run, and it just needs to be seen as. But thankfully, with people like yourself doing this research, and there's lots, like you say, lots of therapists and companies fighting the same battle. So hopefully it does get to a point where where it becomes recognised, and
Yeah.
we're seen as
Yeah.
more.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I was just going to say, your point about how we're seen, I have to say that is such a big problem. And, you know, like you say, the government massage parlours, don't get me started on that term.
No. It makes your blood
But
boil,
also,
doesn't it?
oh, I know. And then that, I suppose, coming on from that view, you know, I hate saying it, I really hate saying this, but the happy endings, that
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
connotation, attachment, you know, that needs to be addressed as well. Because I think that's a big problem in how we're seen as an industry too. It's a big problem.
I think, you know, what they don't realise is without the actual tag, we are actual just therapists for the clients that come to see us. You know, it's not just about it's the whole experience. It's not just when they come in. It's not just the fact that we've helped work some tired muscles in their back. Do you know what I mean? It's the whole. Clients feel comfortable with us. You know, some clients feel it as a way. It's a bit, you know, they can talk to us. They can, you know, everything's confidential. They can come. They can just switch off. They get what they need from the session, basically. And I think, like you say, this is what people don't see is the sort of emotional baggage, if you like, that comes with it. We're not just rubbing someone's back for half an hour and then saying ta-da. You know, there's so much more to what we do. And that's, you know, whether you're a massage therapist, whether you're a reflexologist, whether you're it doesn't matter what we do in this sort of field. You know, you could be a Reiki practitioner, or, you know, sports masseuse. It doesn't matter. It's that having that connection with your client, and allowing them that mental space to just be able to switch off. In a safe environment.
The Massage and Physical Therapist talk show is brought to you by Massage Warehouse. Run by therapists for therapists, we're committed to solving common issues you might encounter in your massage therapy practice. Here at Massage Warehouse, we understand how important your massage table is to you, and how much you try to keep your table protected. However, accidents can happen. The last thing any therapist wants to see is an unsightly tear, rip, or mark on their table. Not only do these marks look bad, there is a chance that they will grow and cause even more damage to your table. Many therapists think they'll have to replace their entire table. However, we have a solution. Introducing our massage table adhesive repair patches, the simple way to fix tears and prevent further damage to your table. To use the patch, first clean around the area of the tear for any dust or dirt using a dry cloth. Next, peel off the back of the patch. After this, carefully apply the patch over the tear. Finally, smooth around the edges of the repair patch for a perfect application. And your table should be repaired and good to go. Our patches come in 3 different colours: black, navy and cream. We have different size repair patches available, and should you have a uniquely shaped tear on your upholstery, we can create a custom size repair patch for you. Check out our website massagewarehouse.co.uk to see the full range. Now back to the show.
But that kind of leads me on nicely to, you know, you saying about we're kind of like a therapist, and obviously we kind of have to, there is boundaries with that, I guess, as well. You know, and we need to sort of, our clients come to us and sometimes tell us things, they get very friendly with us. Is there a way, you know, is there a place where you have to draw the line with how far you can take that with a client?
Yeah.
Under your tagline as you know, their massage therapist, or their, you know, do you have a technique with that at all? I mean, a lot of people listening to this might probably sometimes feel like they can be put in tricky situations with certain clients, because we're not labelled as their doctor, do you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes some clients feel that safe with us and know how much we help, that they can sometimes kind of see us as their kind of doctor in a sense.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a good question. I did a discussion panel with Mind and Dermalogica the other day, and this was touched upon. And they basically said from Mind, they said, well, if your client feels that comfortable with you that they can talk to you, they won't go and then get help because you're there. So why would they go and get proper professional help? And I think in terms of our boundaries are where our qualifications are. That's it.
Yeah.
We're not counselors. We can't do that. So I think, when you say strategies and techniques, my biggest strategy is to have everything, like details of professionals available on hand. So if you have a client where you feel, actually, this is something well outside of my professional kind of remit, then you have a way to signpost them to the right professional. And that's really important.
So being transparent from the off.
Yes.
So the client knows exactly what you're there to do and help with, but what because I think because I probably do as much reflexology as I do massage therapy, and I get a lot of clients just expecting that I'm going to diagnose certain things, because things show up, but I have to explain from the off that it's not a diagnosis. What I say to you is not, your chest reflex point might be showing up on your feet, but that doesn't mean that you've got an issue with your chest. It could just mean that you were wearing high heels and dancing all weekend, and that's part of your foot's quite sore. It's not as black and white, as that. So there's, you have to be transparent, don't you? Because like you say, it ends with where your qualification is at, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And coming on to that, I think there's something that I touch upon actually in the course, and that's about the therapeutic contract. And I think another great way to have this is to have a contract that clients sign that basically outline what you expect of them, what they can expect of you, what you're there to do, what you're there not to do. And I think that's quite an essential tool if you are going down the route of dealing with clients who have mental health conditions. That's something that needs to be a part of your practice. This is something you need your clients to sign from the get-go. So you're setting that from the beginning.
Yeah, because it's kind of it's tricky, isn't it? Because obviously with what we do, we want there to be that sort of relationship with the client. We want them to feel safe. We want them to be able to come and relax and unwind, without it seeming like, there might be a reason they're coming to us for that, because maybe they're not ready to go to some form of counselling, or maybe they don't want to feel like they're being interrogated in a room with someone, that's quite sort of, someone sat with a clipboard, with a pen and paper, just asking them questions and writing things down, so it could be quite easy for a client to maybe get very used to us, and to maybe not, I say cross boundaries is maybe extensive sort of way of saying it, but maybe get you too used to our sort of help, if you like, with them maybe sending texts out of hours, because we do help them. And it's a tricky one, because we are obviously, it's really nice to know that you're helping a client, and that whatever you're doing and saying is seemingly helping them, but there has to be some kind of cut off, doesn't there, in a sense of like, we can't be text messaging clients at 9 o'clock at night, just because, it's not within our working hours either, and that's something probably everyone that works in our field might have to deal with at some point, because clients build that relationship up with you. I find it, obviously for myself, obviously I'm a male therapist, and believe it or not, it's actually, I know there's probably a lot of male therapists listening, but in the grand scheme of things, it's quite rare to have a male massage therapist in this sort of field. It's becoming more and more sort of level playing field now, but every training course I've ever been on, I've always been pretty much the only bloke there, so if I've then got female clients that are then, then there's nothing untoward, but they really value my help, it could be seen as if they're then messaging me out of hours and things. Do you know what I mean? It can just create a bit of a, and maybe the same for you with male clients, you know, it can be quite tricky. And obviously you don't want to upset the working relationship you have with your clients, and you don't want to be as cut and dry as, don't text me out of hours, I'm not working, do you know, because that would really, if I received that off someone when I was genuinely just being, you know, thankful for you know, I'd probably be a bit scared to go back. So it is a tricky one, and I don't quite know what the answer is in that, if it gets too kind of into that.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it's hard because boundaries, something I've learned is boundaries. It's not necessarily something you impose on clients. It's something that you set for yourself. It's your boundary. And, you know, I think that looks different with different clients.
Yeah.
As well. I don't think it's a one size fits all for everyone. But I think a lot of it as well just comes down to kind of gut feeling, intuition. You know, I think we need to learn to listen to ourselves, you know, how we feel a bit more, what we're comfortable with. You know, everyone will have their own boundaries. Everyone will have different kind of levels and what they're happy to do, what they're not happy to do. So I think really the key is to understand what your boundaries are. Have a definitive list, you know, write it down in a document for yourself, and know that they change as well. They will evolve with you as a therapist. But having a definitive list of boundaries set on a piece of paper, I think is a good start. And if you're reinforcing it to yourself, it's easy to apply in situations.
And having that list of resources readily available, to be able to say to your clients, listen, I'm really sorry, but I can't help with that. However, I can recommend this person or this organization that I really feel would work, you know, would really work for you and help, you know, because otherwise, without doing things like that, they can then be heavily reliant on you and just you.
Exactly, yeah.
And this kind of brings it back to this sort of working relationship with like the GPs, with the doctors, with the NHS, you know, is that we kind of, what we're saying is that we can help, and we can offer other, you know, you can recommend people to come and see us. We can then, you know, maybe then we get some kind of welcome pack, you know, that's got all the resources in, and then we're all working off the same page. I mean, in an ideal world, what would be great is if every massage therapist was given the option to do a short counselling course as well, you know, just something so everyone's working off the same guidelines and off the same, you know, the same sheet, basically.
Definitely. It's actually something I touch upon in my, sorry, plugging it a bit, but that
please do.
I do go through all of that. So the therapeutic relationship is something I've been developing for quite a long time, and it's quite in depth. And I've basically flagged different levels and basically how the therapeutic relationship interplays with mental health, and how it connects, and you know, how it works with clients. And so it is really incredibly in depth, and I think understanding that does make such a difference. It makes such a big difference in how we are as therapists.
Brilliant. So because that is something I've always thought is that I'd love to be able to do a counselling course and just have that sort of extra skill under my bow. I'm not saying I want to be strictly a counsellor, or, you know, but it'd be just nice to have them skills for when I am, because it is kind of a big part of our role is talking to people, isn't it? And listening, just listening.
Exactly. Well, Mind actually do they do a free course, and it's just basically about how you can listen and talk to people with mental health conditions, and it's free, and you can just go and do that, which I think is really valuable for therapists.
So is that accessible via Mind's website? Is it? So
I think so. Yeah, it was. I was going to say it's a link I got in my email, but I mean, I can certainly share that with you.
Yeah. Well, what I would say is maybe that's something that we can share on the Massage Warehouse. You know, the therapist Facebook group. I'm sure are you part of that? I'm sure you probably are. Everyone seems to be on there. Yeah. Because things like that, you know, I think every therapist listening to this now will probably go away and think, you know what, I'll do that free course with Mine, because it's just an extra little thing that they've got a resource that they can, you know, should they ever need it, you know, hopefully you won't, you know, and you know, but you need to be prepared, don't you, for every sort of, you don't know who's going to walk through your door and who might need your help or need help further than what you can, you know, offer. So it's about spreading the sort of, you know, the field and you know, recommendations to other people as well as, you know, because we can only do so much, can't we?
Exactly.
So what's next with with this, you know, the massage for mental health? Is there a plan? Have you got are you just letting it organically grow and see what happens, or is there a bit of a plan in place?
Kind of letting it kind of grow organically. So the goal and the vision is there in place, and then I'm just working around that. But obviously I've got this course, and I'm working with a psychotherapist, and we're potentially working with the board of embodied psychotherapists to create a kind of place for psychotherapists and therapists to come together so they can work together. So that's kind of what I'm focusing on at the moment. So the course and then bringing that together. So there's a bit more synergy between our industry and obviously talking therapies, because I think they just go really well together. So that's the next step, and then wherever that leads me, I will then kind of go that way. So
and just take it from there. I mean, I guess obviously you're very busy doing your hands-on work as well, so it's just finding time to juggle and be able to manage everything.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
well, you can understand.
Yeah, of course. But
busy as well,
I like to see us as kind of like massage therapist superheroes. You know, we're fighting the good fight, just chipping away and
absolutely.
You know, one massage, changing the world one massage at a time. So so where can people find out more about what you're doing? And because I'm certainly interested in following your journey with this and just seeing, you know, where it goes. So what's the best place for that?
So the website, which is www.massage4, as in the number 4, mentalhealth.com, and then you can find my Instagram page on there. I post obviously all my updates on my Instagram. So
brilliant.
It's all on there. Yeah.
Well, it's been really interesting, and it's been great to talk to you. It's you know, you've inspired me. You know, I'm sure everyone listening is going to be inspired by this. You know, and it's a great subject to talk about. You know, the more people talking about mental health in general is brilliant, and it's great to see. It's at the forefront now. I see it's people are talking about it more and more.
Definitely.
And you know, but the fact you're actually doing something about it as well is massive, because you know, you see governments talk about mental health and they've put a label on it, you know, World Mental Health Day and stuff. But that's all well. As far this is my, you know, opinion, is that's all well and good, but they need to actually be doing stuff about it as well, not just talking about it. So it's great, you know, you've set this up and you're sort of biting at the heels of you know, people that can make the changes. So that's really good to hear.
I believe that, you know, I do believe that if you've experienced something and come out the other side like that, you know, experiences is how we learn and it's how we grow and change. And you know, I'm an absolute firm believer if you've survived it and you can help others, then that's something that we should do. So
I think it's really important.
If it's small and minor, it still makes a difference.
Well, yeah, because you might get a lot of people that might be listening thinking or see this and be thinking, well, yeah, I feel like that, but I can't afford to go and have massages every week, you know, because it's a cost, isn't it? You know, and that's something like that needs to be addressed, is that obviously we do it as a job, but so we need to charge for it, because obviously we can't just do it for free. It'd be lovely to be able to be in a position where you could just offer the services for free. But obviously we need to earn a living as well. So it's that sort of getting that balance, isn't it, of whether it can be prescribed, whether it can be subsidized, so that it's much cheaper for people that really need it, you know. So yeah, lots to think about, and I'm excited to see where it goes. And I'm sure if anyone listening's got any help that they can provide with it as well, then to get in touch with Hayley and send over anything that they feel might be of worth, you know, getting involved with, or helping, you know, even just helping canvas and spread the word.
Yeah, exactly. Spreading the word. And, you know, if you have any clients as well that have had that, I think, you know, a big part, you know, when we think about social prescribing, they use things that have evidence behind it. But, you know, the problem is with massage is in mental health, doing that research is kind of ethically not quite right, because then you're having a research group with people who are struggling with mental health, and then you can't have one group of people having a treatment and then leave the other group of people not having a treatment. So ethically they can't really do that. And so I think ultimately the research will come from lived experiences, you know, people who have found that massage or complementary therapies have impacted them. And so I think anyone who's used massage or had massage and it's helped them, like, these stories are all really helpful. And so I, you know, that will probably be something down the line that I start to collect as a way of evidence. So, you know, if anyone has any clients that have had that and, you know, they've experienced it, happy to talk about it, then, you know, please get in touch. That'd be wonderful.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Yeah, because the more evidence we have to prove what we do actually helps, is it that will start to turn heads, won't it? You know, and
definitely.
make people realise, you know, that there is something in this. So yeah, brilliant. Right, well, we better wrap it up there, because I could talk to you all afternoon about this.
Thank you. Yeah, I've still got a lot to say on that subject.
Yeah,
Maybe
well, you know
one.
what? Maybe we can get you back in 6 months' time and see, you know, if there's been any developments, and see where it's at, and it can be, maybe we'll continue to follow you and see what's happening. So yeah, what I would say, anyone listening, to please like and subscribe. If you're on Spotify, or you can save it so that you get an update whenever session has been uploaded. On YouTube, you can subscribe, and again, you'll get a little alert. Anyone's got any questions for Hayley or myself, they can get Hayley. What was your your website again, Hayley? Just for everyone.
It's Massage for Mental Health, with the 4, number 4, not letter 4.
Brilliant. And that's the same on Instagram and your social sites.
So on Instagram, my main one is Hayley_Snishko, but you can find my Instagram on my Massage for Mental Health website.
Awesome. And same for me, Take a Breather UK, if anyone wants to say hello. And yeah, Massage Warehouse. So that's it for episode 3. It's been another interesting conversation, and I look forward to seeing what's next. So thanks again, Hayley, for joining me, and it's enjoy your I don't know what the weather's like near you, but it's absolutely battering it down here in Manchester.
So we had that earlier. It's a bit overcast now, but it's not raining anymore.
Oh well, hopefully you'll manage to get some fresh air at some point today.
Fingers crossed. Thank you for having me.
No, it's been a pleasure, and yeah, thanks very much. On to the next one. Bye now.
The Massage and Physical Therapist Talk Show. We discuss the talking points that matter to you, the therapist. A lot of work goes into creating the talk shows, and we'd be very grateful if you can choose Massage Warehouse when shopping for massage supplies, so we can continue to create these amazing podcasts. Massage Warehouse is your one-stop shop for massage supplies and does great work supporting our wonderful community. Until next time,